and welcome back. It is no longer the three-man squad, just got two people in here. It is I, Artom, greatest username on the planet, aka Rory Thomason, because I forgot to throw my first name in there.
And I am Aiden Inman, aka Mnemonic, very creative username.
Exactly, we are just the best username people ever. And we are going to be casting today. We got Ball State here coming at Purdue. So not quite Purdue Northwest, which is one that hopefully we'll be able to sort of, except Purdue Northwest got eliminated actually, so that is not happening. Never mind. That Clash of Titans will never be happening.
It is not happening.
That is so tragic. But I am excited here. Purdue, while by no means top seeded coming into this, has proven to be a pretty solid team overall, and will certainly, I think, has definitely the mettle, the challenge, and they've shown that they definitely have that teamwork to prove to be a real challenge to Ball State. I believe we are going to be heading into draft quite soon, and I am...
yeah, we're already seeing the first
We
bands.
are already seeing that. So that is a Fiora band that is going to be coming out here, and we should get that draft up on screen very shortly. So yes, of course, Silk Flannel. You just don't want Silk Flannel there on that top lane, any top lane bruiser, but Fiora especially is quite scary. And of course, the Cassante immediately coming out on the side of Ball State, followed up by the Jinx.
Yeah, and I imagine we're going to see either an Orianna or a Syndra ban here, and I was right.
Yeah,
Syndra coming out. I'm guessing Jarvan ban next.
Yeah, both these, Ball State and a lot of other teams, I mean, the bans have become kind of pretty standardized at this point. We're going to be seeing that Ziggs being banned out here. And the Nocturne as well. So that one Nocturne game that we've seen so far really was just too much for everybody, I guess. That, to be fair, it was a pretty scary Nocturne.
Yeah, Ball State just opting to not deal with Eugene's Nocturne. Locking that Orianna, as we have seen 1,000 times today, locking the Xayah and the Jarvan, the dynamic trio. We have seen them almost every game today.
Yeah, these are truly the power picks of the current patch. They've been the power picks of Battle for Indiana. As a result, we are hovering the Xin Zhao here. So last time this was picked, I wasn't a massive fan of it. I don't know if I would necessarily want to pick it this early. You do kind of have that get off me potential, right, in that ultimate, and it is going to be selected here. I don't know if I would want to lock in the Xin Zhao. My opinion is going to be shaped, I think, by the rest of the draft here. So it's an interesting choice, and I think it has potential. Could be really annoying for that Jarvan to deal with as we are hovering this Victor.
And we're seeing the Victor again. He did do quite well on Victor last time, although I'm not sure that's the best pick right now. Out of the current meta we've seen, Victor just... I'm not sure he stacks up to the other picks that we've seen today.
Victor's kind of been this sort of classic safe mid lane pick, but I feel like in this patch in particular, and it feels like at Battle for Indiana, I've never really seen this Victor perform. We are getting your old nemesis.
Don't do the Renekton.
Hovered here again, and
Renekton
is locked in. I don't think he's insanely strong. I still think that Renekton's always a serviceable blind pick here. But then again, people have been saying that about Victor, and Victor has also not been doing super well at Battle for Indiana. That Darius, of course, being banned out by Ball State.
And now we are looking, what do they want to ban for their last two bans here?
You do have still an open ADC on the side of Ball State. Zeri getting taken out there, which I find quite interesting. We're going to be having the Jax. Also, a bit of an interesting ban that might be a comfort pick coming out from Ball State. I know that Blaster 3 has had some pretty spooky Zeri games. I'm not sure if that's the ADC I want to remove necessarily from the pool. I think there's... I
expected to see that more.
I was about to say, I think Aphelios, who has seen some play here and some pretty successful play at that, might be getting banned out. So we are getting the Ezreal hover.
Please lock that. I want to see some variation in this bot lane.
It would be nice. I know Blaster does. Blaster, I really feel like you could say, is well known for any ADC in the game at the moment. We've seen him play kind of anything and make it work. So we are going to be locking in the Ezreal. This leaves the supports as well as that top laner open for Purdue.
And we are seeing the Braum the first time played today. I believe he was banned in our last game. It's kind of interesting. Last game was the first time we really saw his face, and now he's getting picked the very next game.
Braum does feel pretty nice into Ezreal, I think, and you also just have a lot of you just have a lot of get off me potential here with Braum, and that really feels like kind of the name of the game here for this Purdue comp. Your enemy is drafting a lot of people who can jump on you. Well, you have Braum, you have Xin Zhao. They're going to say, hop off, buddy. And we are just going to be seeing Aatrox lock top. Aatrox, always a strong pick. I don't see anything wrong with that. Please pick Bard. Yes! Whoa!
Crazy pick for the support. This is going to be a very fun game, I expect.
Oh, wow. Zero hesitation, just grabbing the Bard pick. Ezreal, also a rather safe ADC. Bard being a rather roam-heavy support champion. I really do like this. You're kind of saying, all right, we'll have our Ezreal just sort of try and neutralize this lane, play safe, and we can have this Bard wander around, make some plays. You do have that Orianna and that Jarvan. Having those people around the map with a Bard following them is just scary.
They have the wombo combo of death. They have tons of AoE on this comp, tons of just lockdown potential. This is going to be a very exciting game. Would you say you're kind of typing up Ball State? Do you think they have the better comp here?
I do like Ball State's comp quite a bit. I do think I just don't like Xin Zhao that much as a jungler. I understand why you pick it here, and I do think it'll perform fine, perhaps. But I just feel like there are just better options. Perhaps you could. Well, I don't know if I would like Vi in that comp that much either. Now that I think about it, I don't think it's terrible. Maybe.
I think I'd like to see the Poppy. Poppy's been doing great.
and honestly, actually, now that you're saying that, I do like that there, because this is kind of a zippy comp you got going on from Ball State, and Poppy's really good at locking that down. And I don't know. I don't play a ton of Victor. Victor isn't someone I would say is my specialty, so maybe there's something I'm missing, but I just have not seen that pick do well really in almost any capacity, it feels like, here so far at the tournament.
He did do well. I believe was it Purdue who played Victor last time?
I think it was actually.
They didn't win the game, but Victor did do quite well. So we'll see if the rest of the team can also play well along with the Victor and maybe pull it out. I actually really like Purdue's comp. I think I prefer the Xayah over the Ezreal personally, and we have the Braum to just shut down any damage Ezreal wants to do. I think the bot lane is definitely won by Purdue here. Maybe I'm misunderstanding or underestimating them on the Ezreal Bard. We will see.
I do think that the Ezreal Bard, you're not so much playing to kind of crush your lane as you are playing. The roam potential from Bard is absolutely insane. And when you're combining that with the just sheer crazy amount of lockdown you've got in this top, mid, and jungle, I feel like Ball State here is saying, okay, we just try and go even here in bot lane, and we're going to have this Bard just run around the map and cause some havoc along with these other picks that just like to roam and just are really good at securing somebody and deleting them from the game.
And the safety of Ezreal, he can just E out at any moment. That makes him a great character to just kind of play alone in lane while Bard's roaming around, getting things done on the map. Yeah, you might be right here, actually. I am interested to see this Aatrox versus Renekton. I hate Renekton. I think it's a terrible champion. And I very much like Aatrox. So I want Ball State to win because obviously I'm from Ball State. But kind of want Aatrox to show it to him here.
Yeah, I do like the Aatrox pick quite a bit as well. I don't think we've really seen it that much in Battle for Indiana. It's either just been not interacted with at all, or it's been banned away a few times. I don't like the Victor at all, honestly. I think in team fights you do have Braum and Xin Zhao able to sort of provide some safety there for that Victor. But
I'm not sure they have the lockdown that they need for Victor. I'm not sure he's going to get a ton of value out of that ultimate unless Xayah manages to hit a stun on somebody.
It does feel in terms of just sort of like singling out a target and just grabbing them and deleting them, that the Victor just feels kind of out of place here. I know the Syndra was banned, so perhaps that's... we are actually going to be hopping into games, so we will soon see how this Victor pick pans out. I'm really excited to see how this bot lane pans out in particular. So keep your eyes, ladies and gentlemen, on that bot lane, on that jungle, on that mid lane in particular. That's where we're going to be seeing a lot of the action happening as we load into this game. Purdue versus Ball State.
And remember, this game is very important for both of these teams. They need to win this in order to stay in the tournament and proceed. Whoever loses is gone.
And Ball State has this additional pressure as well. In terms of who is winning it so far at the Battle for Indiana, both Ball State and Indiana University have claimed first place. Ball State, if they want to win the belts, are going to need a win here. The pressure is on, but not before we hit a pause that is almost immediately rectified. There might have been just a slight communication error.
But there was just a bit of a misclick there. Someone didn't intend to pause.
We are having a slight stream delay issue here, so we aren't able to quite see what is going on.
I think it's just a bit of a client bug that happens every time the game pauses. It's, you know, Riot and their spaghetti code when it comes to the client.
Oh, yeah. We all love the Riot client here. So while we're waiting for things to sort of stabilize, let's talk about early game here. You know, what do you want to see coming out from this bot lane, especially in the early game?
What
Those
happened
blaster-
to Zaya?
Oh,
Zaya just missing half of her health suddenly. I guess Ezreal is able to shoot a few Qs in there. I'm not... She
All right.
is able to back in time to make it there for the waves to crash. Not any big problem for them.
that's certainly an interesting start so far. Now that we're kind of catching back up, that the client bugs have ironed themselves out, that the spaghetti code has stabilized, we are going to be seeing Bashini kind of walking up here on Silk Flannel. What are you thinking? What are you thinking early game? Like overall, who are you expecting to kind of pull out ahead here for early games?
I think Silk Flannel needs to pull out ahead. He is playing Renekton. That is the early game dominator. He needs to fight. He needs to win those fights and solidify his lead. Other than that, I expect Ezreal to just kind of chill out, play safe. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I know Blaster loves to play aggressive. Maybe we're going to see a very aggressive Ezreal here. It's all about how he wants to play. Mid lane, they are already brawling it out. Wombat Baby taking quite a big chunk of damage from Tax Evader right there.
Yeah.
But it is not deadly yet.
Once again, just seeing these small trades coming out from both these teams. Not playing as aggressive as we're used to seeing Ball State. I'm kind of used to seeing Blaster sort of, well, Blaster is definitely poking things down. Ezreal, not quite as all-inny, I guess you might say, as the usual picks of Zaya there. But Quokka doing a good job of laying down that Bard poke. Ezreal following up. It's just a rather tricky lane to deal with if you are to do here. Going to be really shoving that wave in, actually.
Now,
Overall,
I'm very
just small
interested to
trades.
see, what do you think Ezreal is going to be building this game?
Yeah,
Ezreal can build so many different things.
it is unique. I'm kind of leaning on sort of a Manamune, just a rather traditional AD build going in here, but you can flex into some AP. You can go for a more crit-based thing. I think.
There's even some bruiser builds going around. We could see like a Triforce maybe.
Yeah, you do. I am going to kind of expect a pretty standard Manamune and just some crit items, maybe Essence even some crit items, and that's the thing you can take on Ezreal. But
I think, isn't Navori pretty common on Ezreal right now?
ooh, you are asking questions of a person who does not play Ezreal 82 that often. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Again, Ezreal, one of those characters you can just sort of build whatever, and it usually works to some extent. AP Ezreal and Tank Ezreal also being a thing. But given the way that this comp is sort of structured, I'm expecting a fairly standard, I think, AD build overall. In the meantime, gold lead, fairly similar right now. Both these lanes just trading at each other. We do see the Xin Zhao hovering mid, Wombat Baby getting so carefully here. Silk Flannel just going for some more aggressive trading under that tower to Renekton sustain, keeping him fairly healthy so far.
So far, the only real leads we're seeing, we've got a decent CS lead up in the top lane. Aatrox is a little under 10 CS up, not a huge lead, but in the bot lane, we are up 16 CS already. That's pretty huge this early on in the game.
And Blaster, the farming machine, back at it once again. Just hungry for those minions, and actually just going to be taking the reset here out after chunking down that turret plate a bit. Is going to be stopped by that Zaya. Rashini has been shoving Silk Flannel in here for quite some time, and Silk Flannel going to be taken quite low, actually. Renekton sustain is good, but it's not that good. Quokka just going to be allowing the Ezreal to reset here. And just trades after trades, just playing it safe so far.
Right now, Silk Flannel's kind of trapped under his own tower. I don't think he can really engage on this Aatrox at all, but he doesn't want to back and use the wave, so he's just kind of trapped here, farming minions, farming XP, trying to make something work. Eugene is trying to sneak his way into this bush. There's no wards. I don't think they know he's there. I don't believe he stepped on that ward up above, but he's going to back off, doesn't see a play, and we will continue just farming it out and looking for advantages when you can.
It is pretty hard to gank this bot lane. You do have a lot of disengage as Bard, and of course Ezreal's Arcane Shift just allows him to jump out of any unsavory situations. And speaking of unsavory situations, you are going to be seeing some really aggressive trading going on, not only in the top lane, but in the bot lane, as Blaster once again is just bringing the hurt down onto Galliusi here. In the meantime, Silk Flannel going back and forth. That is a level 6 Aatrox now. Silk Flannel going to have to play a bit carefully. If he can hit that similar power spike, Bard Q is going to land. And Braum is just once again going to be putting out that really strong disengage, the shield going up. Again, I'm going to be repeating this for a minute, I think, but just trades after trades. Although Galliusi getting taken very low, and that plating will go to Blaster, unable to confirm the kill. While Silk Flannel forced to pop his ultimate in response to Bushini's. Both top laners going to live that particular duel.
I would love to see Ezreal's gold right now. He has a tower plate. He is running first strike, farming up lots of money from that. He's got a massive CS lead. I imagine this man is going to get a pretty decent item advantage pretty early on, unless this game gets a little more rocky and some fights start playing out.
Blaster does already have his shield and got it fairly early into the game. And actually, Ball State's just going to take that early dragon. We've talked about this before. Ball State loves playing these objectives, just loves taking them almost as soon as they spawn. And it can be a bit surprising at how single-minded they are in going after it, but it usually serves them well, and already getting this dragon so soon has kind of put the enemy team on a clock here, because assuming you're getting dragons every so often, that is a potential for a soul coming up at around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, we're just farming it out, still looking for advantages. Ball State has a very slight lead with that dragon take in their CS, but it is still absolutely anyone's game. It looks like Eugene is trying to set up, see if he can maybe get a gank off here in the top lane. I don't believe he sees it. He's going to invade the top side jungle and see if he can take a camp.
But Bolik is there, and the Xin Zhao has been spotted. Does not have ultimate. Is only level 5 here as Silk Flannel is rotating down. Oh no, Eugene! The flash does not go over the wall. We talked about nerves, and it really feels like that was just such a misplay. First blood going to disconnect, and you wanted Silk Flannel to be taking fights. Well, here he is taking them, going on to the second kill, going to force the flash out from Bushini. But the Cataclysm is going to come out from Jarvan with the flash, but the Aatrox is going to E over the wall. The ultimate has been popped. Bushini critically low. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the trades are getting a lot more furious now. Blaster! Oh,
Beautiful portal!
What?
That, just two amazing plays on both sides of the map.
I'm speechless.
Eugene, it happens to everyone. I'm sorry, man. Sometimes you miss your flash over the wall. It's a tough mistake. Silk Flannel has that lead, I imagine.
Oh, Wombat Baby, not to be outdone, says, I want my name on the leaderboard as well. And all of Ball State suddenly just seemed to collectively decide to press the gas pedal. They are now sitting on a sizable gold advantage. Everybody except the support and jungle have a kill, and that's just not good if you're Purdue.
Yeah, this is just one after another. 3 wand fights in all 3 lanes. That is a tough gold shift for Purdue right there. They really need to find some plays here, or else this game is going to quickly fall away from them.
And we were just talking about these fights, and while we were doing that, in the meantime, Butler just got the Rift Herald off screen. Silk Flannel now is going to be trading far more aggressively in the Boshini here, and Ball State is just setting themselves up to snowball massively. It really just feels like everyone waited until the 5-6 minute mark, and somebody on comms just said, hey, we should maybe get a kill now, and all of Ball State said, oh yeah, that sounds good, I agree, and just went for it, and it is just serving them so well, sitting on a 2K gold lead here, and every time the camera pans over, I just see a Ball State team member bullying somebody on Purdue. This is rapidly spiraling out of control if you're Purdue.
They are just chipping away at them, little by little. They're not doing any massive plays, not doing anything crazy. Just little by little, they're taking all the resources, including their health, just chipping away at that health until they can finally finish off and win a fight. And this is just looking tough for Purdue right now. They need to make something happen on this map. They need to find a game. They need to find something.
Yep, and we have Blaster once again, the farming machine, just going to be dancing in lane after getting that second turret plate, as you do.
And it does look like we were going for the Trinity Force on Blaster's side.
All right, so there it is, the Trinity Force coming out. It's a pretty good item on Ezreal. I think that might actually be his highest win rate item at the moment, so that might be the standard build, and my information is just out of date. So I do like Trinity Force here, getting more damage off on Ezreal is always a good thing. Boshini going to be kind of trading into Silk Flannel here, but Silk Flannel's pretty far ahead at this point. Well, actually, in the top lane at least, the CS gap is going to keep Boshini fairly even, but Silk Flannel is a Renekton, does have those early game power spikes, does hit pretty hard. We have this Drake coming up in about 45 seconds, and I would be shocked if Ball State doesn't make a play for it here.
They're definitely going to set up for this drag. Purdue, they must try to stop it or something. They just need to have something happen on this map. I don't think they have a hope of outscaling at this point. They do have a decently good scaling comp as Renekton starts fighting Silk Flannel, diving in, fighting Bushini. Who is going to win this fight? Both are in their ultimates, healing a ton, whacking each other a ton as a separate fight happens with Eugene, who's going to escape his own jungle after being invaded by Bard and Jarvan. And the fight top seems to have broken out. They've both backed off and are probably just going to reset. No deaths yet. Still a nail-biter of a game. Extremely close.
Ball State did take that early lead, and it's got to feel good having 3 kills to your enemy's 0, but this is by no means a lost game for Purdue. There's lots of avenues to come back here, but this Ezreal is already on his Triforce at just over 10 minutes, and that's just a lost bot lane at that point. You are just going to have to accept that this Ezreal is going to be a problem. Quite a significant one. Gatla, you see, you need to leave. 1 Q means you're dead, man. He's going to ult.
The wave. He clears the wave. That was probably a good play by him. He needs to get out before this Bard decides to say goodbye to him. Ulted by the Bard. This is rough. He's going to get hit by Ezreal Q. Saying night as Ezreal takes down. No, doesn't quite take down Raven. He's going to twinkle toes his way around as this Herald goes down. The tower will go down, and Raven will go down with it, but not. He stalls it out for a little bit.
Wombat Baby picking up another kill there with a great roam. The Dragon has been taken by Ball State. In the meantime, this is huge for Ball State. This is the Ball State that we are used to seeing. Putting their foot on the gas and just going fast, going hard, taking objectives, not even giving the enemy a second to breathe. This feels like a completely different team from the first game that showed up for their first game here at Battle for Indiana.
I do definitely like what you said. Their foot is on the gas. They are not going to slow down. Silk Flannel, he thinks, oh, I thought he was thinking about turning around and fighting that. He's got, I guess they're even on items. He was low health. That's probably not a good fight for him to take. He's going to back, maybe finish up his Gore Drinker right here, and then he is ready to brawl. He picks up the Gore Drinker. Everyone on Ball State, except for Bard, on their first item it's now, whereas only one member of Purdue has their item.
Yep, we are seeing Tax Evader on that Victor. That Leandries is some nasty, nasty damage to deal with. Blaster is going to be chucking out that Ezreal ultimate, getting some damage on the Bushini. Quokka going to stun Bushini. Bushini going to E over the wall. Does Blaster follow? In the meantime, Tax Evader is going to be fighting here with Butler, but the Victor ult is going to make things quite difficult there for Butler. Going to be taken down to about half HP. Ball State is setting up for this top objective. That Rift Herald will be spawning in about 40 seconds. Blaster happy to take more turret plates in the meantime. Ball State extending that gold lead even more as this Rift Herald is about to spawn.
Blaster and Quokka are kind of doing the opposite of what they thought they would. They were together at all times, and they were just taking over the entire map together. No one can contest them right now. This Ezreal is way too strong.
This Ezreal is just, frankly, terrifying. Some of the Q damage just does not seem okay. Eugene trying to walk back into his jungle, at least trying to get a buff, but Ball State will not allow it. The ult from Zhao comes out, going to force Bowman to disengage. This might be the handhold. That is 3 hourglasses that have just been popped, or stopwatches rather. Zanya's stasis, whatever you want to call it. Everyone is trying to just stay alive during this fight, but Ball State slowly but surely coming out on top. Double kill for Wombat Baby, sort of the unsung hero, I feel like, of the Ball State team at this moment in time. Boatlet going to finish off Bushini there. And, I mean, we've talked about Blaster 3. Wombat Baby is 4-0.
They are just two monsters on the Rift right now. They have far more damage than Purdue is ready to deal with right now. This is not looking good for Purdue. I'm not sure what they can do to come back from this round.
Yeah, that is going to be another tower taken down for Ball State. That is 2 towers to Purdue's 0. The gold lead has exploded out of control. We have this objective coming up semi-soon for Ball State, about 2 minutes. They've shown that they are more than happy to just start setting up vision control.
We did just capture the Rift Herald.
And also, yes, did just capture the Rift Herald off screen. Too busy looking at the actual game to not even see the mini-map going on here. Ball State is just, I said it earlier, I'll say it again, they're not letting off the gas.
What do you do against Blaster and Wombat Baby coming at you right now? They just way too much damage.
They look at the items, just look at the gold. It's just, it just feels like already just such a lost battle for Purdue. That's an 8K gold lead. This game has barely gone on for 15 minutes. And Ball State has already established such a dominating lead. Still 0 towers, 0 objectives taken for Purdue. This Drake is up in about 40 seconds. And I mean, I think it's just a Ball State Drake, easy peasy.
There's no reason for them to give up the Drake here unless there's some cheeky steal. They have all the control they need on the map. Look at those. Look how boarded the bot side is around Drag Pit. They have vision everywhere. They know where everyone is. They have full control of this map. They're probably going to take the mid turret right here because Israel is packing a punch this turret down.
Yep, the Summoner's Rift right now is lit up like a Christmas tree, and Blaster 3 is just so scary. There's just nothing that Purdue can do. Raven was full HP just a few seconds ago, and now look at them. They're sitting at half HP. And Quokka is here to just cause even more chaos, getting that vision control. Lit up like a Christmas tree. Now it just feels like New Year's Eve here. There's so many wards in the bot side jungle. This Drake has spawned. We can see on the mini-map that Botlick is on it. And that's just going to be a Ball State Drake.
And yeah, I'm not sure there's much else to say right now. They have just taken control of every single objective. Meanwhile, Purdue can't really take anything back. I mean, 2 of them are backing right now. They can't trade for anything.
Yeah, well, you're going to see Boschini trying to maybe get something off on this tower, but the wave is not there. And Silk Flannel is just going to be zoning off Boschini fairly easily. The rest of Ball State can easily rotate up here. Boschini at some point is going to have to be aware of that.
I feel like Silk Flannel and Boschini are just kind of having a fun time fighting each other up here.
Top
Not a whole
lane
lot
is
going
an
on in
island.
top lane.
You know, you just sometimes you're just lonely renekton, and you just got.
Wombat Baby trying to TP out before he gets CC, but they stop him, and that is a catch. Purdue needs to keep on doing that, and they are keep on doing it. Oh wait, no, that is Ball State going for Boschini. Does Boschini get caught here?
I don't know if Boschini gets out alive. That is a massive shutdown. That was a 500 gold shutdown onto Wombat Baby. Boschini, in the meantime, is just trying to go out valiantly, maybe take somebody with them, but Botlick says no. Honestly, if I'm Purdue in this situation, I take those, man. I get 3 people topside and we get a shutdown onto their grossly fed mid laner. Sometimes it might not be pretty, but sometimes you gotta take those, but maybe you don't want to take these, as Eugene just going to get caught out and gunned down, dodges the Bard ult, but cannot dodge the Jarvan engage. And oh, the ultimate for the style points, Botlick. That was just dirty.
That was overkill and not at all necessary. We might have to reprimand Botlick for that.
That was some flair, some stylistic flair there for sure. As Ball State continues to just take turrets with 0 repercussion. There's nothing Purdue can do. Raven getting taken down, Galliuson getting taken down, Tax Evader already looking super, super low. The Rift Herald is being dropped. It is not even 20 minutes yet, and Ball State is already taking down this tier 2 tower, pushing to the inhibitor. They just have not stopped this tempo, this pressure, and they're going for the kill here, but the shutdown onto Botlick here, coming from Bushini. Bushini maybe looking for another. Victor gets taken down by Blaster 3. Blaster 3 unstoppable, but Victor takes Blaster 3 with them as well. The shutdown, Tax Evader for the 3. Would love to have that. That is still gold going into Purdue's pocket.
Big shutdown gold for Purdue right there. It may look like they lost that fight, but they are on the back foot. every kill counts for them. I guess it's a 2 for 2. That's pretty even, and that's great for them. Did they get 2 shutdowns there? No, Ezreal got shut down.
They got 2 shutdowns there, yeah. So actually that has decreased the gold lead. It is now under 10K for the first time in a while.
As just about as good as Purdue can hope for right now. They are fighting their way back in this game, putting up a fight, not just rolling over. It's exactly what I want to see.
It really is exactly what I want to see here, actually. Purdue, you know you're super far down at this point. You got to go for these risky plays. You got to just take ugly trades. You sometimes got to let things go that you don't want to, and they have been doing that, and they are fighting tooth and nail to get back into this game, but Ball State is still rolling forward. The Ball State steamship will not stop as this Baron is being taken lower and lower. Purdue not even bothering to respond. They're not even close to this Baron, and this could be the beginning of the end for Purdue here.
And that is not what we want to see. They need to contest this Baron. I know it's a tough fight. They might not be able to win it, but getting this Baron here, Ball State can really just go and end the game if they need to, especially if they get a pick here. Renekton and Toshini fighting it out with 2 other members of Ball State there. Can't they catch Bushini? He's running away, stalling as long as he can, but no one is coming to save him, and he is taken down. That is not what you want to see after them getting Baron. But Wombat Baby is being chased down by Eugene, Raven, and Galisu. Can they catch him? He's shielding himself, speeding himself up. He manages to get out, and Bowling comes in. Huge 3-man ult. Can they clear them out here and end the game? They're taking out Raven. Raven's low. They take out Xin Chao. Raven is low still. They take out Raven. That could just be the game.
The wave is in position. Ball State is in a position to, at the very least, get that inhibitor, if not more. And this is just absolutely disastrous from the side of Purdue. Bushini getting caught out there just really tore everything apart. And Ball State looking to just end the game at just over 20 minutes. This is a far cry from the team that first showed up to BFI.
I think they're going to close it out here. We'll see. There is a fight breaking out. Bushini is getting chunked hard by this Ezreal. Just barely manages to dodge the Q that would have ended him. Walks back into spawn to heal up, and Ball State is retreating. They do not believe they can end the game, as all members of Purdue have respawned at this point. They're going to back, heal up, buy some items, and then probably go and prepare for this soul drag right here.
That is 10 seconds to the Infernal Soul. Purdue needs to deny this. Purdue is barely clinging on to life. They have an open mid lane. They only have 1 turret guarding their nexus. Ball State, as a unit, is moving down through this jungle. They are looking to move on to this dragon. The Ezreal ult going to start it, maybe even catch somebody off guard. Waka going to just simply face check this bush. Does not care, will Bard ult everybody as all of Ball State are moving in to take the fight, but the TP coming out is going to stop that engage, but not for long. Silk Flannel, killing spree. There was a shockwave coming out from Wombat Baby. Blaster 3, killing spree. Who needs the dragon? We can just kill all of Purdue. Eugene running for their life as Silk Flannel chases them down. The rest of Ball State will simply move in on that Nexus as Purdue's death bell tolls.
And Tax Evader is able to back to try to come deep in, but it is a 1 versus 4. I don't believe he can do much of anything here, especially with Ezreal one-shotting him, melting the turret. This is probably game right here, especially because they have another TP and it's 5 people over here ready to fight for this Nexus. That is the game. GG Ball State.
That was... wow. We were kind of talking about, oh, you know, that they're both playing it fairly standard, fairly slow during this initial early game, and then it really feels like someone just kind of flipped the switch at 5 minutes for Ball State there. You know, maybe Silk Flannel said, you know, I'm getting kind of bored, guys. Let's make something happen, and then all of a sudden Ball State's up 3 kills and just does not just let up any of that pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, and like you said, it only took, within the span of 1 minute, they won top lane, they won mid lane, they won bot lane, and then they just put their foot on that pedal and went, and they didn't stop. They just took control of that entire game.
And I know you weren't a huge fan of that Renekton pick, and to be fair, I do not think that Renekton was kind of the star of the show there, but I felt, especially compared to last time into that Cassante, Silk Flannel really shone in that position.
Yeah, he against Casante, it's just not fair. Like, what's he supposed to do? I'll be honest, that champ is ridiculous. But he really just kind of felt like Aatrox's babysitter this game. He was really just there to make sure Aatrox didn't roam down and do something. And overall, he did his job. I mean, you can't blame him. I would have maybe liked to see a different pick so he could be a little more proactive, but he kept Aatrox in the top lane. He didn't let Aatrox get any kills. He did a good job.
And honestly, everybody did their job in that game. We saw the Bard was just incredible. Blaster 3 is just really scary on 80 ADC. And Wombat Baby, who I feel like has kind of maybe been sticking to out of the spotlight a bit in terms of these highlight type plays that we see on Battle for Indiana, came out 5-0, and then of course Butler here with these just incredible Jarvanars. And we are hearing. We are going to be throwing to an interview quite shortly. With that said, Jarvan Botlick, I believe, will be giving us some thoughts and words. So once again, GG's Purdue, well played Ball State. It was a very fun game to watch, and we will be throwing to interview now.
Hello and welcome back to the stage. I'm joined by Ball State's jungler Botlick. How are you feeling after that win?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty confident right now after that win. But although we lost our first match, but I feel like we could do pretty well in the series.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you guys are going to be going against, I believe, Purdue Northwest for the next match.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I just want them to know that we won't be easy to beat.
Love the confidence. Love the confidence. Now, you played Jarvan, correct?
I play Jarvan.
Is there any is that your comfort pick, or is it just like?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable on it.
Yeah. Is it? Well, I guess I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to spoil any of your plans if you have any. But let's see. Yeah. Now, Well, yeah. Shoot. Well, yeah, I guess I'm out of questions for now for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to the break. Thank you so much for joining me, and best of luck with the rest of the thing.
Thank you.
Of course.